They're the worst.
They're the worst.
Hello, and welcome to episode 14 of Reboot or Deboot. As always, I'm Noah Davis.
I'm John Peenham.
And we're here to talk to you about the 2018 Danish film The Guilty, directed by Gustav Moller, written by Mr. Moller, and also co-written by Emil or whatever, Nygard Albertson. Big picture, hit me.
Watch the movie. Stop this. Watch it. Go watch it. One of the best movies I've seen.
Mhm.
Awesome. The way they got away with one spot. Awesome. The actual plot and the twist. Awesome. The acting from this fucking dude. Awesome. The actors over the phone. Even more awesome somehow. Like, just 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yep. Yeah, that kind of spoiled everything, but yeah, big picture, awesome movie. I was saying this to John earlier, but I have zero negatives. I can maybe muster up something, just a nitpick, but I not off the top of my head. It was not apparent whatsoever. Fantastic movie. I understand fully why they want to remake this, just because it's so good, and it just makes me a little afraid. So, specific positives, even though you just said a few.
Yeah, I mean, number one has to be the pacing on this thing. I don't want to say a slight negative, but the slight negative has to do with how the pacing's interrupted just by the platform we watch it on. I'll leave it at that. But holy shit, was it just spectacularly executed. Like, truly, I'm trying to think if there's a single movie that can do what this did in 85 minutes. The range of human emotion, the chaos, tension, just everything, bro. Holy.
Yeah, and I don't want to, make some giant claims here, but I absolutely love a one-room movie, like 12 Angry Men or Wait Until Dark. Just one of those movies, one of those fantastic classic movies, and this is right there with them. I mean, I didn't expect to just absolutely love this going in. Did not expect that whatsoever. Thought, you know what, thriller, might be good, okay. And then came out thinking, that's a modern classic movie right there. And I didn't realize how hard the Danish people went sometimes. I will say some positives. I mean, you've already mentioned it, but I literally put acting as one bullet, and then my next bullet, acting, because it's so good. I mean, there are multiple, not multi-minute shots, but there are multiple long shots of just looking at the dude's eyes and the way he's just able to convey all these conflicting emotions within his character just through his eyes, and just very subtle facial movements. Even it felt like what micro expressions, like that's what they call them. It felt as though he was controlling his micro expressions, and it's just top tier acting. This man deserved any award he got for this movie. I mean, without a doubt in my mind, the acting was just crazy good. Do you have any more specifics? I mean, I have more, so.
Oh, I got tons. So again, acting can't be overstated.
Nope.
This dude is fucking impeccable.
Yep.
But a point I also made off air that I want to remake now, and it's a bit of a meme claim, don't get me wrong, but that it's better than her in the simple fact that the amount of sheer praise that Scarlett Johansson got for never actually appearing on film and just being a voice and somehow still capturing this huge range of emotion and driving the plot. I was memeing because like 4 characters do that in this, and they each are clearly unique characters, whether it's the daughter, whether it's the husband, whether it's the wife, whether it's the friend. Each of them clearly have this tension and intention that is just awesome and perfectly executed. And all we get to look at is this dipshit's fucking dead eyes. And can he pull that off as well? Like, It's just so sick.
I want to touch base on what you just said, how distinctive these voices felt. I mean, we've talked about how, good character work goes a long way where, you can be introduced to a character immediately. I mean, when he called his ex-partner and we had that little background of he was saying to his like ex-boss or something, how's Rashid and stuff. So we didn't even get that much info. But the second he started talking to Rashid, you could feel this tension. There was something underlying, and it took some time before we found out that he was gonna lie for him or whatever. But there's just something really incredible about the fact that they can do character work over the phone. There's just I mean, there's just something wild about that. Whereas, you're talking of her Scarlett Johansson's character wasn't immediately established. You had to you got to learn Scarlett Johansson's AI character. It took some time to develop. This instantaneously, you pretty much know what Mikhail, the husband, was about. What Eben was about. You know what Rashid was about. And it's literally just, I mean, mere minutes. It's not as though they were on the phone for an hour, constantly. The script work, I guess, is key, but like you said, I mean, just the fact that they're able to deliver this range of emotions through literally one dude's face on his flip phone, it's wild. I mean, it's wild. It's hard to even describe this movie, or at least describe it effectively. I'll also say, I mean, it goes unsaid, honestly, but I will say it anyway. The tension, how it was able to just raise and lower and kind of ebb and flow naturally is also wild. I don't think you can overstate the praise of this movie,
No, agreed. I mean, a comparison I want to bring up just because there are very few movies I think in this genre that really do it fucking right and tight.
Mm-hmm.
One is like Uncut Gems, I think is probably like the most popular one of these, where like you
Good
just
tension.
feel unsettled and anxious the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
The better one, but does not give a flying fuck about runtime, is Bo's Afraid. And
Ugh, yeah, true. Yeah.
yeah, like God, you can't ever rewatch that movie. And this
No.
leans Bo is Afraid, but in 85 minutes, bro. Like
Yeah.
how can you do that? It doesn't make sense.
I mean, the second you turn it on, I was stressed out. I mean, just the opening scene where he just gets this call. I mean, just immediately. Oh, I was just thinking, oh, it's one of these. I'm just gonna be tense the entire time. And I will say there were reprieves built into the movie. When he had either have time to think or when the officers, spoilers, when the officers discovered the baby, there were these reprieves so that you could actually kind of feel the impact of everything. And so I don't even know how they did that. I just, like you said, the pacing, phenomenal. I don't know how you even mentally plan all this out. It just takes a very talented team of creatives to pull this off. I'll also say the audio design, fantastic. I mean, whether it was just the phone calls or the actual audio on the phone. I mean, when he was, hearing the dispatch officer, he was hearing him, jingle his keys and then get out of the car and then get in the car and turn on the siren and like open the door. There's just something raw about the audio that just felt so natural. I mean, as silly as it is, even his phone vibrating tripped me up one time because I was like, oh shit, is that my phone? Because who has a ringer on? But the audio design's great. I mean, the direction's great. The pacing's great. The script is great. I got a couple more, but do you have any?
I don't think any that we haven't already talked about, but I think worth mentioning is the twist.
Mm-hmm.
There
Yeah.
were, small, very subtle signs, like
Yes.
shit that he just didn't understand, that it sounded just sort of nonsensical, which obviously turned out to be the whole plot, which is an awesome way to do it. Like, don't spoon feed us, breadcrumbs that make you want to try to figure it out. Like, just let me be lost in the world a little bit. And they did it very, very, very well.
flawlessly, if you would. I also, that's gonna actually bring up one of my positives. I think this movie, I think its effectiveness lies in the fact that it almost forces the audience to use their imagination constantly. You're always imagining what's on the other side of the phone because obviously you're never shown it. And I was just thinking, ugh. I was just thinking that, a let's just say, I mean, obviously it's violent and not, you shouldn't have a kid watch this. But let's just say a kid watched this movie, they wouldn't be able to imagine this, I mean, the entire movie, they'd think this is a stupid or boring movie because they're just watching a guy on the phone, you know? And I just think there's something so, I don't know what, intrinsically smart or clever about that fact that it's using these almost not real world examples, but these amalgamations, I suppose, of real world events to allow the audience to just expect the worst or imagine the worst. I mean, again, like the baby thing, it's just over the phone. And yet, as an audience, I was fucking like mortified and just, my mouth was agape just fucking when that twist was revealed. I mean, it made complete sense. And I just think, I don't know, the power of forcing the audience to use their imagination, fantastic. Just what a great idea.
I will piggyback off that and just say that awesome, yes. Even more interesting, and it's the exact same point, just maybe slightly differently articulated.
Mm-hmm.
You're constantly seeing something on screen.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you're being pulled literally like into your own head canon and mind's eye. And now you're trying to see what the car looks like and where they're driving through and what they're
Right.
driving towards. And, the little girl walking through her house. And does she open the door to the brother's room just because he says it to? And then, they hang up and he's talking to the dispatcher. And what's the dispatcher's like facial expressions? So every time you're actually watching something, you're also simultaneously trying to think a picture that is not being shown to you. And I can't think of another movie that does that, which is just awesome.
I mean, other movies might do it, but not as
Not
well.
the whole time. Yeah,
no,
not the whole time
I'm just
either.
saying, but not. I mean, just objectively, I don't think I've ever seen a movie do it as well as this. I'm sure there are movies that do it. Absolutely positive. But never have I ever walked away from a movie like this and thought, damn, just what a masterful execution, I only have a I only have a couple more. Do you have any more?
I don't.
I mean, we already kind of touched on it, and I did mention the tension, but I thought just the fact that I felt like I was having trouble breathing during the climax, where the twist is revealed and everything. I mean, the climax itself, even if the rest of the movie hadn't been so superb, just the unraveling of Eben and her character and her kind of role in the world, and then his what was the main guy's name?
Oscar?
Asger's final monologue. I mean, that was killer. That was absolutely killer. When he's, almost confessing to this woman to, bring her back or pull her back over. There's just, I don't know, man. It's hard to describe this movie. I mean, this is maybe the first movie in a while where I'm just, quit talking about it, go watch it. Quit listening to this, go watch the movie. Because yeah, just fantastic. Any more positives? Because that's kind of, I think we touched them on.
No, I'm chilling.
Okay, and I think I already told John, and I kind of touched on big picture. I have 0 negatives. I have a bullet point that I assumed was going to be for a negative that just never happened. So if that doesn't tell you about the movie enough, I think that's the biggest indication of a solid ass movie. Any negatives?
Yeah, I got a half a negative.
Okay.
It's not really the movie's fault. I can't stress that enough.
Okay.
But I unfortunately had too many pauses during my viewing because fucking Tubi ads every like 20 minutes there was a 7-minute ad.
Just watch on your computer, bro. No ads.
I know, but I was watching it on the TV with my
Oh.
family.
Oh.
And so it was awesome. And then we were like in the middle of a fucking tense
Yeah.
scene. And the tense scene literally would just end. So they timed the ads so that you did get like a,
Well,
okay,
that's
okay.
good.
I'm not like in the middle of, the police finding the baby or something. But like it still was just, oh, come on, bro. Like I can't. I probably had truly 10 minutes of ads in a 90-minute movie.
Yeah, but are you a senior citizen who should ask your doctor about some medication that we sell on American television?
Exactly. Um, the other half of a point that's a negative, I'm going to save for our predictions because it truly is not about this one, but I just know how they're going to fuck up the next
Yep.
one.
I'll get my set. I have very few, etc., but we'll get to the predictions real quick.
Oh, I do have one, etc. as well.
Okay. I just have two. Well, actually, one of mine is about the next movie, so that's funny. So I have two actual ones. One, I just want to say, poor Rashid.
Yeah, man, that guy got fucked the whole movie.
He got screwed the entire movie. He was pulled out of a bar after he's just drinking 4 or 5 cocktails or shots or whatever, beers, whatever he did. He's pulled out of that into an investigation off the clock. So literally just clocked back into work because his friend told him to. He's lying under oath for his friend, and then his friend confesses. So that means he what's the word for lying under oath? Perjury. He perjured himself. So Rashid is literally going to get fired.
Wait. But he also broke and entered, and he
Well,
also
the door's
opened
open.
someone's mail. Yeah, but still, he's.
I don't
off
think he
the
opened the
clock.
mail.
He did.
No, he said he couldn't because there's too much.
No, but then he said, "You know what you have
Oh,
to
he
do."
found
Keep doing it."
something
Yeah, and
with
then he
the
found something and
psychiatrist.
reported
Oh,
back. Yeah,
right.
and all the lawyer email or letters back and forth.
Yeah, Rashid's fucked.
Yeah, he's defo fucked.
In my other etc., totally not even really about the movie, but I think it's interesting how we have 911 and they have 112, and it's just, and I think is British 411,
I don't know,
and
but I know what you're alluding to.
it's just weird how we all have this weird, I don't know, 3 maybe 4 digit cop police number. But who started that, or why don't we have a universal number? It makes me think. But that's pretty much all my etc. What's your one?
My etc. was simply the like looking at maps. I
Mhm.
have just not zoomed in on the Danish map before, like the actual map of Denmark that fully.
Mhm.
Like I know what Denmark even looks like in my mind's eye from like
Yeah.
a very like Central Europe view where it's sort of up north and it's
Yeah.
by Sweden.
Scandinavia.
But when he's looking at the entire map of the country as a call center, I was like, wait, that's crazy. And I did not realize so that like North Zealand area that was like on the right side of his map screen
Mhm.
is literally like attached to Sweden. Like Copenhagen is on that island. I was like, I did not realize Sweden bled into Denmark like that and like technically Central Europe.
I don't think I did either. Also, does that mean New Zealand was a Danish colony?
That's no, that was part of this too. Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, wait, Zealand is in Denmark. That's interesting.
Uh-huh. So I'm thinking New Zealand might have been a Danish colony before they got their independence one day, whatever year. So that's just,
Very well could have been.
you learn history through movies. People say movies don't teach you nothing. But all right, here's, I don't even know why I'm dreading this because we haven't watched the movie yet. Predictions for the Jake Gyllenhaal Antoine Fuqua version. What are your hopes and fears?
I mean, hopes that they do exactly this in English.
Yeah.
That's literally the best outcome is they make the exact same movie.
Yep. I will say there is only room for down. I think even if they did the exact same words, I love Jake
It'd be worse.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, it'd be worse.
Yeah, I love Jake Gyllenhaal, but I don't know if he could quite pull this off without looking like he's overacting. Again, love him in almost everything. I just don't know if he has the subtlety that this guy did. I'll also say a couple things. Something just in my gut, in my my core says Antoine Fuqua does not have the balls to keep this in one room. I bet you so much money, so much hypothetical money that he does not keep this in one room. If anything, or maybe he keeps it in one room, but he introduces like new characters, just to come into the room, just to space out, the runtime or pad it out. Uh, because again, I wouldn't say I love Fuqua, but I respect the man. Respect the hell out of him for all the work he's done. But I just don't think he has that artistic, gumption to keep it in one room. Um,
No, I mean, agreed. My suspicion is that this not only will not stay in one room, but to make us quote unquote feel more about the Gyllenhaal character, we'll like either see reenactment
ugh,
or live through whatever
flashbacks.
the fuck up was.
Oh,
Like, we'll start with him being like a beat cop, fucking up, then going to dispatch. Then the whole movie will be the dispatch shit, and then it'll end similarly. But for some reason, we'll have to establish that he's a fuck up instead of just like let us feel the fuck up over time.
yeah, because I mean, the beauty of this movie, even though I wouldn't call it a subtle movie, there are subtleties to it where you never knew until his ending monologue, you never knew what he really did. You kind of thought, okay, he's kind of a backwards cop, kind of, a little plays by his own rules kind of guy, that character. But there was just this nice nuance that lets you imagine, oh, did he murder a guy? Did he not murder a guy in time or something, or did he wish he murdered a guy? Just, there is a lot of room to kind of guess these things until it's spelled out to you, of course. But yeah, I don't think this reboot will have that nuance. Something tells me, like you said, we're gonna see exactly how he's a fuck up instead of letting it be implied or inferring it. Um, my one of my et ceteras, just because I just cause, I don't know, it just there's something that stuck in my head. I'm gonna say they take out the line about cops being protectors, and that's just I'm gonna leave it at that. I just assume that line will not be in the
Yeah, it will not make it.
yeah. Just a guess. I think it's a really good guess, but I don't think that line's gonna make it.
I would
Um,
agree.
is that all your predictions? Because I think that's all I got.
Yeah, I mean,
I predict it'll be
that's all that's
worse.
worth giving. That's all that's worth giving.
Okay,
Um,
letterbox and wiki.
yeah, wiki budget 570,000 USD.
Jesus Christ, I'm gonna go run into a wall.
Like
Just
they
what?
they actually did the fucking thing, bro.
Holy crap. I mean, ah.
And box office was somewhere around 4.5 mil.
That audiences are dumb. That's too low.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
way
I'm
too
sure
low.
it's just the problem is it just didn't get to many theaters is the real issue.
Oh,
It
that's
wasn't
fair.
necessarily that it wasn't raved about because the Rotten Tomatoes is literally 98%.
Good. Those 2% are losers.
Yeah, and it's just awesome. Um, I think on Metacritic it has an 83. So it's like universally acclaimed as a very, very good movie.
I mean, yeah, 83 a movie. Metacritic is hard for movies, so an 83 is crazy good.
And then the dude did win Best Actor from the Danish Film Awards, but it didn't really make it into any other major. I mean, it made it to like a couple of different like film things, like Austin Film Critics,
Well,
St. Louis Film Critics.
that's before the Oscars had their arms twisted to acknowledge Korean films. If this had come out this year or something, they'd probably sort of acknowledge it, but
right. And then the production of it was basically the dudes who like wrote and directed it saw a bunch of different like YouTube clips and thought that would be an interesting idea based on like an emergency dispatcher YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know if you ever watched it. I'm sure I talked about it at least briefly, but the podcast Serial. about
No, I've
murder of
never.
Adnan or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
not that you listen to it, but you are aware of it as a
Right.
thing.
Yes. Yes.
So the combination of those two things, they're like, oh, like true crime shit, but what about from the lens of like the actual, police workers, and then that sort of spiraled into
Oh,
this thing.
you know what? That actually, sorry not to derail. That it's actually an unwritten etc. for me. I was just thinking, it's insane just the logistical hurdles, or at least how they displayed these logistical hurdles of having to call a dispatch and then the dispatch having to call, or sorry, having to call a call center, then the call center calls a dispatch, then the dispatcher calls a cop or officer, and then that officer has to come to you. I mean, just it just blows your mind how everyone's not just constantly murdered and there are no cops. Like, how is the system still going? Just
Right.
seems.
And there aren't more of these like vigilante types that are like, wait, what do you mean I just need to wait for more info and then to call back? Like, I have their fucking house address. Why don't you just send someone to their house,
This movie just displays perfectly how honestly insane it is that we even have emergency services. How insanely good, but just how insane of just mentally, it's almost unfathomable how this would all work out. But okay, keep going. Sorry.
So yeah, that's the wiki. Pretty much done there.
No
Um,
interesting tidbits. The main
nope,
actor didn't
nope,
marry and divorce the guy beside him, his desk buddy.
nope. And I have a lot of letterboxes here, only because there is a wide range of reviews on this, which is very, very strange. It does not match the sort of general appeal, so I don't know what's wrong with like quote unquote movie hobbyists, but
I
fuck
mean,
those people.
I think what isn't wrong with movie hobbyists is the better question.
So 1 star from a guy named Riv, sucked ass a bit. Like, what fucking movie did he watch? Like, what are we
I can't
talking
even
about?
comprehend what that. Can you click Riz's profile?
Sure. 1 sec.
I need to see Riz's what he's comparing this movie to.
So his profile, his favorite films are Buffalo 66.
What?
Yep. Antiviral.
What?
Um, Paris, Texas, the 1984
Oh
movie.
my God! Get out of here! Get
And a
out of here,
movie
Riz!
and a movie called Vive Sa Vie, which is clearly a French movie about living life from 1962.
Paris, Texas is a fine movie. Fine movie. It feels as though it's an indie flick, but in the 70s or 80s. But get the fuck out of here. Like, what? I
Yeah, unfathomable, really.
loves Paris,
Um,
Texas, and gives us 1 star. Get out of here. Just get.
Patrick Seba said 1.5 stars. A podcast of a movie if I've ever seen one. Almost the entire movie takes place in 2 rooms with only
Oh,
one main character. The
oh,
other characters are just voices on the phone. Due to the fact that we never switch perspectives to the
oh
other
my God.
characters, all the twists and emotional moments are flat and unimpactful. This movie's basically an audiobook because nothing happens on the screen. Not worth the $5.85 I paid for the DVD.
I would
I'm like,
rather have not
bro,
heard what you just said.
I'm like, dog. Literally all the good parts of the movie you thought were problems. You're such a fucking dweeb.
I
Oh,
I would hate to call just a random person a layman, but that reads like a layman's review. I just,
so let's
oh
go through his highest rated movies.
yeah,
The Amazing
please.
Spider-Man,
Oh,
uh, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End,
at World's End, not even the first or
Spider-Man,
second one.
Spider-Man 3,
What the fuck? That's a troll. That's a troll.
and then,
Spider-Man
and then
3.
Pirates of the Caribbean 1.
That's a troll. No, no, that's a troll. I think he just
Actually, no,
rage
sorry,
baited
Pirates
us.
of the Caribbean 2 and then Pirates of the Caribbean 1. Sorry,
I
clicked
think
the
he
wrong ones.
successfully rage baited me. That can't be a real person who thinks. Ugh, just I
That's
can't
awesome.
even. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
All right. So now on to the. Oh wait, I have one more negative here.
Yeah, please.
And this is a semi-long one, but I'll just get to the gist of it. Guy goes by AKA Gary, 1 star. Not sure why this gets such rapturous praise. I thought this was incredibly boring. Words like nail biting, tons of twists and turns, gripping, and clever were used, but I never experienced any of that during this film. The plot concerns an emergency dispatcher, blah, 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 blah. It's similar to Tom Hardy's character in Talking in a Car and Lock. Started strong, expecting more high stakes thriller, but the film never escalates the tension or takes on the suspense up a notch after that. Overhyped and overrated.
I think people
Bruh.
need to quit reading reviews. Just make up your own mind. How about you watch the movie and then you go read reviews?
And this is a mids review by Abyss. Whole story was narrated just focusing on a single character's emotions. Very eccentric way of storytelling. 3.5 stars.
Is that a translation issue?
Yeah, very well could be. I was like, I don't know what you're trying to say, dog.
Is that negative?
I don't know, but it's just mids. That's what it is.
He just described the movie.
Allison M. I only included this one because, well, you'll see. In the vein of Locke, this super low budget but effective thriller had me on the edge of my seat. It was appropriate in its twists and turns and kept the audience guessing. It played with my emotions and had me in tears. How come Danish films are often just so good?
Oh.
Vegan alert. Ivan's favorite food is pork sausage. Vegan points. The police dispatcher doesn't eat pork.
Okay. Funny.
I wonder if she just gives vegan alerts on all her reviews. I'm
Yeah,
just
no,
confused.
I mean,
Like, why did that come up? And her little profile thing has a plant on it. So I was really thinking
that'd be hilarious to review movies within the confines of if it's vegan or not.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have been really niche like that.
Right.
but
she had like 350 likes on that review. Meanwhile, like some of those like 1 and 2 star ones only had like 5 to 10. But
well, I want to point out
people really like this vegan alert.
I absolutely abhor when people watch a in this specific example a Danish film and say, "Man, why are Danish films so good?" That drives me up a wall because you're only seeing the good side. You're only seeing the movies that made it to critical good reception so that it, transcended whatever ocean or boundary. So I just absolutely hate that. Like when Parasite came out and people were saying Korean movies are so good.
Yeah, and you're like, bro, we've been watching this shit since the early 2000s, man.
But no, not even that. I'm just saying Korea makes plenty of bad movies. Everyone makes bad movies.
Yeah.
I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Just to kind of uniformly put, it happens in video games too. People say, "Oh, well, Japan made the game." And it's like, dog, Japan is hundreds, if not thousands of different companies. It's not just this uniform,
right.
blob.
Monolith. Yeah. Monolith with a monoculture. They only do one thing, and it's make video games for you, dear Fred.
Just like the Danes. They make movies.
All right. 2 more.
Uh-huh.
This one, Matt Lynch gives it 3 stars and then talks absolutely nothing about the movie. I have this problem where I get ahead of stuff really fast. I've seen too many goddamn movies and a lot of plot twists just announce themselves to me immediately. I don't do it on purpose, and I don't say this to brag. It irritates a lot of my friends and generally ruins sturdy premise-based thrillers like this for me. Anyway.
That sounds like the worst type of person.
Yeah.
You're watching a movie and he's just like, "Oh, guessing that. Oh, guesses that. Oh, guesses that." And then just constantly, probably until he gets it right. Just, I can't.
Yeah. Your favorite kind of moviegoer.
Just watch a movie. Just watch it. Don't think.
All right.
Just watch.
And then finally, a 5-star by Jacques-Luc Sharp.
Picard. Oh, sorry.
The Guilty is a masterstroke of simplistic narrative and structure. To describe its deliriously shocking and intoxicating plot would be a crime to those who want to be transported into arguably the darkest and nightmarishly atmospheric story imaginable. That's a review.
Yeah. I will say it's a little fluffy with the words, but at least it was short.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 sentences, bro.
Yeah, no, I just think
2 sentences, doesn't spoil anything, and does paint the picture that this is a dark and twisty, awesome movie that you should not even bother reading shit about or listening to shit about. You should just fucking watch.
Yeah, we should have actually put that at the beginning. Just go watch that movie. Go watch the movie.
Yeah. Well, here's a spot for you to edit back in the front. Watch the movie. Stop this. Watch it. Go watch it.
I'll try and remember to edit that. But okay, is that it?
That's all I got.
All right. Safe to say we really like this movie. Join us in a few seconds when we talk about the 2021 Antoine Fuqua, Jake Gyllenhaal remake of The Guilty. Welcome back to part 2 of The Guilty episode. This time we are talking about The Guilty 2021, directed by Antoine Fuqua and written by Nick Pizzolatto of True Detective fame. Big picture. Go.
Yeah. No. Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Filler words to make this longer because the only things I have to do is shit on it. It's
Mm-hmm.
bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I literally just said this to John 2 minutes ago. In a vacuum, I think this movie is decent, but in the context of reboot or deboot, just no. Nope. Sorry. No.
Yeah. Without any more commentary, significantly debooted.
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
not watch. Avoid
spoil-
like the plague.
yeah, spoilers for our answer. But yeah, you're right. I have very few positives. Do you have any you want to go over?
I genuinely, and it's a bad take because it means that I'm viewing this movie differently than how we tend to view these movies. But there was nothing about this movie that in any way I felt like was good when compared to the other one. I tried to view it as a standalone movie, but having known the entire plot, knowing that they, you know, obviously borrow heavily from the literal script of the other one's English subtitles, uh, it's hard to say that there's anything good. Like, I guess they didn't change it too much, but every change they made is bad. So I don't know how to say
Okay, well, I'll go through my good
it's
things.
positive.
Um, of course, again, he's not as killer as the guy who played Asger. But Jake Gyllenhaal, he did a job. He did the job. Maybe not as well, obviously, but that much acting for that much amount of time, got to give him props a little bit. Um, for some reason, I thought the movie had almost this not nice sense, but kind of this okay sense of humor for some reason. I don't know why they decided to make like the prostitute scene was played up more for laughs than it was in the original. Um, which that's fine. I mean, I guess it is good. I just want to put it as a positive, even though it might not be a net positive. Like I don't think it added anything. I just think, yeah, if they were going for a little funnier, okay, I got it.
Well, see,
And then
wait, real quick. This would have gone in my sort of etc. and not as a pro or con. But since you brought it up there, I do think they significantly changed the tone of this one. Um, Again, I don't know that it's inherently negative. It's definitely not a positive for me. But you're exactly right. They do play up the jokes, and sort of my interpretation of it was this is sort of like a police based action movie and not like a haunting drama. The other one did not necessarily feel like, you know, police based quote unquote action movie. Like, obviously, they both have tension, but for very different reasons. The other one being more, like thriller, suspense, hang on by the edge of your seat. And this one, again, being more here's the day in the life of a cop kind of thing, which is funny because it's obviously a call center, but I do think that had to do with why those jokes were played up in that way. And again, some of the language I'll go into in the negatives, I think, are
oh,
done
don't
the way
worry.
they're
I
done.
have ammo for the negatives. So you
Mhm.
don't you worry about that. Also, I mean, oh wait, my third positive kind of just ties back to the whole comedic element. Uh, the whole when he says he should get the beer with the other dispatch person, and then he's like, what about that beer? Because he goes to the other room or whatever. Yeah, that's again, it's super crazy, but these are my only positives. Jake Gyllenhaal jokes. I
I'm,
don't know if that's enough to carry any movie,
and
sadly.
I don't know that I would even call Jake Gyllenhaal good in this. Like,
I think he did the job. That's what I said. He did the job. I mean,
I know,
obviously, if we're
but that's like
comparing
pity
it,
points. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, could anyone have done this job? Like, I feel
Well,
like
that's
you're
what I'm
saying it
saying.
wasn't a negative.
Well, I'm saying that even though it was some giant shoes to fill, he at least did the job. Which I mean, again, if you had this movie and had I don't know Joel McHale, it'd be awful and it'd be terrible and unwatchable.
Yeah, I'd shoot myself.
So that's what I mean by positive Jake Gyllenhaal. Not that he, went out of bounds like crazy good. He didn't transcend anything. Just that he was able to deliver a performance for a complete hour and a half. I think that
I would
is a
swallow a
positive.
note that says "fuck Joel McHale," and then I'd go get rid of my own snakes.
Dang.
That's how I do
Dark, bro. That's dark.
it.
But yeah, that's all my positives. So we want to get to the negatives, really burn through those positives. 3 minutes,
Yeah,
4 minutes. All
got
right,
it.
you first, me first.
Number one, why did they make it not a oneer, like a one location thing? Like,
I
why?
don't know. Hold on. We can actually get. Are we talking about the very first second of the movie? This might be just for reference. This might be the fastest negative we've had for a movie, personally speaking.
Oh yeah, literally, it starts and I go, "Fuck you."
Well, and then it starts with the Bible verse. And
Oh God,
then,
yes, I forgot the text intro, dude.
yeah, a Bible verse, as if that's not the most cliche thing you could have ever do in Western media. Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute. It is.
and it wasn't,
Uh,
John 3:14 or something.
or it wasn't even that obscure of a one. It was just, the whatever, the living. It doesn't matter. But it wasn't even that obscure as if, oh, nobody heard that verse, so you're using it for a thematical, thing. And that's just not it didn't really I mean it did tie in, but it just wasn't what's the point other than detracting from the awesome singular note that was the original movie. Then it tried to base it in the LA wildfires for some reason. I don't get why we needed shots of the LA wildfires to, you know that there are wildfires. Is that
Right.
just me?
And what was the call center's intention of, a huge like 180-inch display of the news?
Right.
Like, how was that helping anyone
Yeah,
answer calls?
I need to know if that was a creative liberty or not.
Of course, it was a creative liberty,
I
bro.
mean, you never know. You never know. I don't want to just say that without knowing fully.
Like,
I mean, I would hope it is.
just because I need to say it, this feels twofold. This feels like weird, sort of propagandized Blue Lives Matter movie, and also like
All right.
profiteering off of the fires in some way. Like they were like, "Oh, how can we make a movie interesting about the fires?" And Jake Gyllenhaal's like, "Dude, I just watched the coolest Danish movie the other day. What if we do that?"
Gotta blame either Nick or Antoine, okay? I'm not blaming
I don't know.
Jake. He can't be at fault here. He just took the job, okay?
I
Or
mean, he
unless,
produced it.
oh, he's a producer. Never mind. All right, Jake's to blame too. Yeah, so we're outside already in the very first 2 seconds of the movie. Yeah, the Bible scripture, yada yada. And I love how, again, the original, I mean, there were shots that were nice and stuff, but I wouldn't say that was one of the strengths of just, a symmetrical scenic view or anything like that. But remember how the original opened with the zoom on the headset and the circle in the middle, kind of giving this
Mhm.
nice symmetry? I love how that would have been the easiest shot to recreate, and they did not do that. I'm just thinking, what are we doing here, guys? If you're not gonna actually kind of observe the artistic, I don't know, ambition, why are we remaking this? Other than just it's English or something. I just it blows me away. Also, I'll say the voices were annoying. The phone
Yeah,
call
like,
voices.
yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, I was not impressed by any of the acting. I was not as captivated or riveted. I was just saddened each blow that it was middling and totally a non-remarkable job or a gross sort of throw the poo in your face attempt of a remake.
I mean, did you realize that most of the voices are, famous
Actors.
actors? Yeah. Because
I
literally,
didn't recognize any of them, but
oh, well, Paul Dano and Bill Burr got me. Paul Dano, I was literally confused because it sounded like a non-voice actor doing a Paul Dano impression. And then I learned, oh, it's just Paul Dano himself. It's literally in my negative. So sorry, Paul. Tarantino might have been right a little, at least for voice acting.
and who
Um,
was who? Do you like
Paul
remember?
Dano was pretty sure he was the prostitute guy, or Bill Burr was the prostitute guy. Paul Dano, there's a,
No, Bill Burr was the nightclub guy. Like, oh fuck you, I'll just deal
oh,
with it
okay, then
myself.
yeah, Paul Dano was the prostitute guy.
And Paul Dano.
Um, yeah, and
Nope.
then wait, what?
Paul Dano's the dad. Wasn't
Really?
his name Matthew Fontenot or Fontenot?
I mean, because literally the fucking prostitute guy, I kept thinking Paul Dano, and yet I had no idea he was in the movie. So I don't.
I mean, it could have been both. He's only credited as that guy. I don't see Crash Cyclist. No, it must be credited somewhere. CHP Dispatcher.
I don't know. Well, that makes it
Emily Six.
even weirder because again, it's in my notes, like active notes that I was taking in the movie, and it says Paul Dano question mark. Yeah, so the voices were distracting. I don't think they added anything other than again being distracted. I don't know the layers they added to Jake Gyllenhaal's character. I don't know his name. Jake's character. I don't get. Not only did they make more of an emphasis on the asthma breathing thing, they added the daughter layer to it all. They added him actually talking to his wife for X amount of time and then describing the daughter situation. I just don't know why they added these layers other than just overcomplicating everything.
Yeah, just extra exposition that was totally unnecessary and takes away from the sort of imagined story and depth of the character.
Yeah,
Like, just bad.
there's a quote from some guy I was watching a documentary years ago, but there was a quote that I really love where he said perfection isn't when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing more to take away. And I feel like this movie just kept adding instead of taking away, or instead of trying
Yeah.
to actually be, this kind of work of art. It just came off as a movie. Whereas the original was, I mean, that's a work of art right there. Um, I thought the movie was just too on the nose, especially when it showed us the scenes through the phone. You know how it showed us ambulance sirens or lights and such. That annoyed me to no end. I actually literally wanted to just turn off the movie because, again, the sound is the whole point of the movie, and then they show us images as if we can't imagine things, which is literally one of my biggest positives about the original was the imagination aspect. So
Oh, real
I don't
quick,
know. I
I'm
just
wrong.
hate that this.
You're right. Matthew Fontenot, that guy, is Paul Dano's character, is the dude who was getting a hooker. Peter
Boom.
Sarsgaard
Yeah,
is
Sarsgaard.
the dad.
That makes
This
sense.
might be because just the names I flip flopped. I was like, who the fuck is Henry? But then it says Emily's ex husband. I was like, oh,
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, they ruined the imagination aspect of the original. I mean, the literal thing that made the original almost
right,
almost
so cool.
poetic in a way. Yeah. Then they take that out. Again, the wife. I wrote down the wife again because they just won't let us imagine anything. I just don't understand. I let me imagine things.
Get more of your buddies in a movie about the fire, is how it reads to me. I have no idea why she would need to call him or talk to him. Why
Nope.
him being an asshole to her over the phone makes his character any different in this version,
Yep.
or like any quote unquote worse. Like the other guy was a complete asshole and felt like an asshole the whole time. And
Yep.
this one, it felt like they kept trying to redeem him. And obviously, then there's a big change in the plot, but
Yeah, and I mean, I can keep going down the list. Do you have any more? I
Yeah.
still have a few more.
No, I have a couple more. I was just waiting to see because you like to do these chronologically. So you keep going
Oh,
until
I
you get
do.
to the
Okay,
one I need to
gotcha.
talk to.
I absolutely hated the line "Broken people save broken people."
Dude, I almost wrote it down. I was like, there's no way he doesn't write this. I'm like, what in the fucking Hallmark piece of shit did they need to say that for?
Where did it come from? Is my thing. I just okay if the mentally disturbed wife or mother had said it, I think it would have, it might have been weird, but I think it would have made sense. But the fact that his boss at the dispatch just opens the door and just broken people save broken people. Well, yeah, sure, that's a nice
Yeah, and
line.
also, yeah, but like you don't know me. Like, why are you even
Right.
calling me broken, you fucking weirdo?
Oh, and also, how did she know the broken people are the ones needing saved? I don't, the amount that she inferred to think of that line. I mean, I couldn't even picture a situation where I would think of that line and go tell that to someone, assuredly, to cheer them up or whatever, keep them chipper. But, yeah, I hated that line. I also didn't understand why they changed the order of things. Why,
In which way?
near the end, when he's talking to what's his partner's name in this? It's not Rashid.
Rick.
Yeah, when he's talking to Rick, they change the order of like when she's discovered or when he discovers the twist, and then when he tells him the twist basically, and then at the end when the confession is after the ending kind of thing, which was weird instead of the confession being the ending. You know how that like the big suicide, saving the suicide or saving the woman
Right.
from suicide, that was the ending. But then this movie decided to elongate and kind of change the order. And it didn't, I don't know, it made the flow really weird. Um oh, I put celebrity voice cast again, so must have distracted me again sometime in the movie later in the movie.
Maybe Rick. Do you know Rick? He's from like Ballers and stuff. You like Glory?
That doesn't sound familiar. Maybe I've just heard them or something and it stuck out. Case in point, hire voice actors, not actors. There's literally a term for it. So Antoine Fuqua, please quit giving your buddies money. And
I'm
then
in Jake.
my biggest problem, maybe singular biggest problem with this movie is the ending. I just
And again, which thing? The fact that he literally talks to Rick and then gets off the phone and
the
then
fact
like
that we draw this, well, okay, so one, I don't like the factor that he's not confessing in front of everybody.
yeah,
I
it's a
think that
move.
takes away all the weight. Two, I don't like that they draw it out even longer. And then three, I don't like how he then implies a confession with the news lady at the end, and then that's the ending, just as if it's some mic drop. Dude literally already confessed. I just don't understand how that's a bigger mic drop than the dude
Because
already confessing.
because again, I think this is some weird cop related type propaganda, or maybe like cop responsibility is maybe their takeaway at the end. But they end with that again picture overview of L.A. and all of the different reporters listing off the fact that he like pled guilty, but
Yeah, and
ostensibly
also
there were stories that were ran that include whatever he had to say that wasn't in the court because he gave the phone call. But again, a weird thing to leave up to the imagination when you left nothing else up to the imagination. Just so stupid.
it's also weird that he would choose to confess to a news person instead of just going to court in an hour or two.
Right, because he literally stayed at work the extra hours to
Yeah, and
basically not go to bed.
Rick literally said, "I'll head to the courthouse from work." So that means the court date is very soon, within literal hours. Why would you need to confess to a news reporter when you're literally going to confess to a public outing or a public legal dispute? Like what? What does that? What does that do? What is that? It's not like it clears your name. You're literally just suffering the same consequences, but you let a reporter do it instead of a judge. I don't, I don't get it. And if anything, don't talk to the reporter because what other police department is going to hire you? You know, because obviously he might get let go or whatever, or put on leave, and then he's got to go to another police department. What police department would hire you if you're ratting out to a freaking, reporter? What What are you doing, Jake? It doesn't make any sense. The ending, I hated the ending.
Me too. But I'm confused because you've skipped what I consider to be the bigger change in the script.
Which one?
The kid is not dead.
Oh yeah, I brushed past that because I just didn't care. I just literally didn't care. I didn't
Oh
like
no,
it.
bro. It's so much worse.
Oh, it's worse.
Like,
No, it's worse. I just literally, I was kind of over everything by that point.
because in the first movie, you're devastated, right? That there's some weird abduction going on, that he keeps fucking it up and keeps stumbling through all of the wrong moves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out that he basically told this little girl to go like see his dead brother, her dead brother.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the cop's reaction to it is
Mm-hmm.
like heartbreaking. He's like, no, he's fucking dead, dude. The guts are everywhere. Of course he's not breathing. And in this one, they're like, resuscitating and acting like good cops, etc. But of course, it's terrible. And then you find out when broken people say broken people, the baby's in the ICU.
Hated that.
You're like, no, dog, the baby's dead. That's what motivates him to not be, so destroyed mentally that he can actually finish the job.
Also, just to add, just the physical possibilities. If that baby's bleeding out before he gets the phone call and is still bleeding until literally the end of the movie, I don't think babies have that much blood in them.
Yeah, again, and obviously we don't see what kind of laceration, but
This is a little nick.
if there's intestines outside body with kitchen knife,
Snakes,
and non-medical operator of knife, I'm going to presume that dead.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's some, baby with superpowers or something, that's the twist. No, I just adding the whole baby's alive thing, not only did it take away from the implications of the mother character, because with the murder of the baby in the original, the mother character, she's sympathetic, but that's the whole point. That's the whole title of the movie, is the guilty. Even though you want to sympathize with them, she's still a, mentally ill murderer. That's the whole idea. Whereas this is, it for some reason wants to cheer you up as though, oh yeah, a mother just attacked her baby boy, almost killed him, is going to be locked up in, whatever mental health, whatever, for who knows how long. Yeah, happy ending. Just, oh, the ex-convict husband is going to have to deal with his daughter being super traumatized by her mother going crazy and cutting up their baby or her baby brother. Oh, happy ending.
Just terrible choices across the board.
Why?
Yeah. No one knows why, other than Americans trying to make their own impression or political statement or something. I genuinely, I can't get the idea that this is not some weird, maybe they got extra funding because they talked about the fires, and maybe for some reason they wanted to tell a cop movie and this was just the only way to do it. But
I
into the wiki
assume
stuff, I have data to back me up.
I was gonna say,
I think Jake Gyllenhaal's responsible.
I assume they had quarantine project or production because 2021, right?
Totally.
But that's probably the reason why they, did that. But no, I have one more etc. and that's all my notes. Do you have any more negatives before one more?
No, as long as we talked about the baby, we talked about the Rick bullshit, how they changed that and it was terrible, how they changed the ending, which was terrible.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and again, Rick can't really just change his story like the movie implies, but okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Purger, man. We talked about it already.
Yep. already talked about it in the original. In the original, it makes sense because he's kind of off the deep end and he confesses to an unofficial source. So that actually kind of makes sense that he would screw everybody up. This one, Rick already gave a statement. So him making Rick promise to tell the truth is actually the worst possible idea in the world. Not just, oh,
Oh,
do what you want. He said, promise me.
yeah, it's stupid. Bad.
Okay, one more, etc. And then
Yeah, go for it.
okay.
Oh, I have an etc. too. Sorry, I have an etc. too. Yeah, you go first.
The protector line. They kept that, but then they made the daughter go, "No, you guys aren't protectors."
Yeah.
So we were kind of right, but in the wrong way. They didn't take away the line, but they disputed it instantaneously by a 6-year-old girl who can barely say numbers.
Right. Yeah.
Already thinking ACAB. She knows her daughter or her dad's phone number and ACAB. That's all this little girl knows. But what's your etc.?
Well, the poster's so bad.
Oh, with the words?
Yeah.
Yeah,
his
I didn't
face
use
is
that.
words.
I used the other one for our title card art.
Well, like it'd be more interesting, I guess, if there was like interesting dialogue that made up his name, but it's literally just like, random 911 operator words like listen carefully and
Also, listen
send
carefully.
units.
Listen carefully is highlighted right, and yet they have to show us the imagery that we're listening to. Thanks, guys. Listen carefully, except we're not going to let you. We're going to force you to not imagine.
Right. And those words are not next to each other, unlike everything else on his face, which all the words are like the sentence structured in a line. So stupid.
All right, Letterboxd Wiki.
Yeah. Well, real quick, wiki first, because it's the way I like to do it.
I just say it like that.
Yeah. Netflix, obviously, no budget, no known estimated costs.
Everyone got paid. That's all we know.
Right. They don't produce numbers here, but evidence. Well, first, the plot. Again, I don't know that this was plainly clear, but surely he would be charged with murder, not manslaughter, right?
Depends on whether he want to inflict, I think, deadly fatal harm.
That's what he said. He said, I shot someone and I killed them.
Right.
And it's because I wanted to hurt him because he killed someone.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but if he just shot them just to shoot them and not necessarily kill them, that's the difference.
I see.
Yeah, so if you beat someone's ass and they happen to die, manslaughter.
Yeah, but it says he killed the 19-year-old.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I know yeah, that's what I'm saying, but they die. Yeah, but I'm just saying he might still get manslaughter. I mean, you have to prove that he wanted to, I think, like the thoughts or the
the intention, right?
Intention, that's it. Intention.
But that's like first degree, but there's also like non-first degree murder that's not manslaughter, right?
Yeah, I don't know. It gets a little hairy. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Anyway,
we need a lawyer in
he
here.
Pled guilty to manslaughter, is why I bring this up.
Who did?
And that's in the plot. Jake.
Oh, okay.
So apparently in some of those, news anchor things that I stopped listening to after the first one, they say he's guilty of manslaughter and pled guilty.
So he didn't even confess? He just sort of confessed?
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm getting. I'm like, nah, bro, you pretty much said you fucking murked the dude because you could. That's murder, I'm pretty sure, in some capacity. Anyway, we went over all the voices. Yeah, big celebrity stuff. So at least per the wiki, which I did not know prior to our discussion, I've only scrolled this far down now. December 2018, Jake Gyllenhaal acquired the 2018 rights.
Okay, smart dude.
Then 2020, it was announced that Fuqua would direct and produce, and Nick Pizzolatto or whatever would write. But there was uncredited revisions from Gyllenhaal.
Wow. So it might actually all be Jake's fault?
Yeah, then Netflix buys the movie, then they cast everyone who's all these big players, and then filming starts November of 2020, obviously during the pandemic, pre-vaccine. So Even more evidence to just shoot in one fucking location, everyone on the phone.
I
But
mean,
no.
smart. Jake Gyllenhaal had some real forethought. But yeah, I it's weird because obviously we don't know what added and what was removed. Maybe Jake made it even more faithful, you know? Maybe there was
And
more garbage that he cut out.
maybe. But the only other numbers we have in terms of how well received it was 69 million households in the first month of the release,
Wow, that means nothing.
and the top watched film in 91 countries that month.
Wow. I just Netflix, I can't take it seriously. Just wow. You know how easy it is for them to artificially inflate numbers like that?
Now, tangent here. Again, Jake Gyllenhaal bought it, so I'm going to put most of the blame on Jake Gyllenhaal. But Peter Sarsgaard, obviously married to his sister.
Yep, brother-in-law.
And he is like Danish heritage. So I'm just curious if it's, is Jake Gyllenhaal got his pulse on these Danish movies like that, or the finger on the pulse of the Danish, movie industry like that, or did for some reason like Peter Maggie watch it? They're talking to it over dinner with Jake, and Jake's like, "I'm a rich asshole, I can do that," and then the thing is born, and then he just gets his bubby to.
I'd say that's more accurate than people would assume. or Peter, sees the movie. Maybe his family is talking about it. Oh, have you seen this movie, Peter? Blah blah. Or maybe his cousin's in it. Nepo stuff. Then he, sees the buzz and says, "You know what? I got a rich brother-in-law."
Yeah.
Boom, bada bing.
Bada boom, bada bing, baby.
You never know with that stuff.
Okay. Big letterboxed. It's got 2.9 stars on average, so less than mids.
Okay.
Whereas The Guilty 2018 is much more highly reviewed. I pretty much have a review of every star system, like I said, but only the good one. So 1 star from number 1 Gizmo fan, which here's hoping that
Gremlins?
means, yeah, I mean, it's either that or freaking What We Do in the Shadows. Genuinely insufferable. I guess that's Jake's version, baby. And I'm glad that's the pulse. That had a ton of likes.
I mean, yeah.
Paul Thomas, one of these pretentious writers historically that we've actually talked about that do their armchair reviews in, overly eloquent words.
They name himself after Paul Thomas Anderson?
Probably. They do it differently, but worth the read. 911, what's your emergency? I'd like to report a theft. It appears Netflix stole from a Danish film. Okay, sir, what did they steal? The whole movie. So it's a remake? It's less of a remake and more like they just put the script through Google Translate. Sir, I don't know if this is an emergency. It is. You aren't listening. Please arrest Netflix. You aren't taking this seriously. The original was so much better, and it's literally on Hulu for people to watch. And this was in 2021, so I think that changed, obviously. Is it subtitled, sir? Silence. Sir, are you asking people to read? I'm just going to hang up. Wait, sir, is this like the Gus Van Sant remade Psycho? No, well, I guess it wasn't that bad. That's a major accusation. You know what? Just forget about it. Sir, if this is like the Psycho remake, we're on our way. Look, I don't want them to get hurt. We're on our way. We're getting SWAT.
I mean, that's very good. I have only heard things about that. Vince Vaughn, Gus Van Sant.
Right, Van Sant or Von Sant or
maybe we put that in,
says his name.
in the list. After a while, we're just gonna have to only watch the reboots because clearly a majority of them suck.
Yeah, or have to flip a coin or poll other people about which one we watch first.
Right.
Because I do think, especially what was the one, the driving through the Amazon or Africa?
Wizard. No, sorcerer.
Sorcerer, yeah. Like, I think we really could have flipped our opinions if we just watched those in different orders.
Yeah, you never know. It's kind of I don't know. It's a slippery slope there.
Like Heartbreak Kid, great that we did it the way we did it because it was deserving of the
got from bad to worse.
Better one. Yeah. But Anyway, 2 stars. This smells like pro cop propaganda, and that has 2,000 likes.
I don't know. I don't know if it was that pro. The main cop is
medium
literally
pro.
a murderer.
Who gets away on manslaughter.
Okay, hold on. That's after credit, after ending. That's no, let's just ignore that bullshit audio ending. Uh Still, he's a
Whose
murderer.
partner got away scot-free for lying
Well, we don't know the implication
about
of
murder.
that. We don't know that. And his wife left him. I mean, he's not the coolest guy.
2.5 stars by Hung Cat. Maybe the guilty are the ones who never bothered to learn to read subtitles.
Damn. True.
Yeah. True. This one just pissed me off, but it was worth the inclusion. These are now starting in our liked territories. So 3.5 stars. Quentin writes, I'm a communication dispatch operator in real life. So this is just a typical Monday in my life. The fact that 99% of my calls are way more tame than this, but I like to take my job as seriously as Jake Gyllenhaal. You're stuck in a library? Susan, I'm going to put you on hold to contact a guard to respond. Do not hang up on me, Susan. I will not let you hang up on me. Stay on the fucking line, Susan. I'm going to make sure someone's coming. Like, huh, bro?
Was that funny?
He really thought he was doing something. I'm just so confused because to say you take your job as seriously as Jake Gyllenhaal means you're committing crimes at work to get shit done.
Yeah, you really shouldn't do that.
Yeah, I would not compare myself to him in this fucking movie, you idiot. And then this is a 5-star review from a bunch of Wingdings characters. This movie is so underrated. 5 stars.
Damn, that's a mic drop. That's all you gotta say, baby. I believe it now. We are actually underrating it.
Oh yeah, I don't think this deserves more than a star. I don't know if it's one of the worst movies we've ever watched, half a star territory, but
I just
because
think,
in the context of being a almost identical reboot, but every change is worse.
Yes, again, in a vacuum, I think this movie is okay to decent, but compared to, it's awful.
It's trash. Do not watch.
All right, is that it for Letterboxd?
That's all I got.
Okay, that'll be it for episode 14. Join us in 2 weeks on episode 15 when we talk about the 1974 film Going Places and the reboot sequel to Big Lebowski, The Jesus Rolls. Until then, we are out of here.
Peace.
They're the worst.